Oh, I'm dancing. Look at me twerk. Hi, my name is Lacey, and welcome to my recap of episode 4 of The Big D. If you haven't already, please catch up on my recaps of episodes 1 through 3, and then come right back here for episode 4. Also, if you like my content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when my next recap is live. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, so thank you for your help. I really appreciate you. Now let's get into the D. Jillian just left, and David is feeling the freedom to flirt with all the girls. He has been talking to Ariel and flirting with her. However, he's really starting to feel Angelique. And Angelique also likes David, but she went on an early date with Dean. So Dean watching Angelique with David gets him a little sad. It isn't long before the doorbell rings and we get a new D. And this is Jo. Jo is 33. She's been divorced for 9 months and she's very tall. She's 6 foot. She's from Georgia. She was a military wife, and when her husband was stationed in Egypt, they kind of fell out and both cheated on each other, and hence the divorce. Some little tidbits throughout the morning. Casey and Takor hug in the kitchen. There's something going on there. That's an interesting one. Blair is talking to Devin, and Devin is telling Blair to tell Ariel to move on and meet the other guys. I think she has been, so I'm not sure why they say she's been like stuck up on Blair. Like she was in the beginning, but I feel like she's opened up a bit more, especially to David. So like, I don't see where this is coming from. Not 100% anyway. Blair finally has the conversation with Ariel that they've been meaning to have since their divorce. Ariel is sad. She misses the friendship. She misses the Blair that he used to be without like hating her and resenting her. He says that, you know, he was grieving it as well. It was a loss for both of them. He misses the friendship as well. They both cry and they both open up about their feelings, and they honestly have a really good resolution, and I think this was the conversation that needed to help them move past each other. Dean and Jo are hitting it off. They're talking by the pool, and they talk about their exes and where they come from and their background and stuff like that. She's crushing on his energy hardcore, and he is reciprocating the affection. They both are in the confessional and having shots and saying that they're having a really good first date, and she's like, oh, is this a first date in the confessional? So it was kind of a cute little hit it off moment. In the morning, Devin is making breakfast for Alexis, his ex, and I think she asked him a question or told him to do something a certain way, and he loses his mind. He flips his lid, and they're arguing in the kitchen, and he's like, don't tell me what to do, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, I mean, like, nah. And then it's very awkward, very tense. Other people are there, they're watching, they're like, ooh, I don't know that anybody's gonna want Devin with that temper. And Casey's like, hey, I think you guys should hug it out. And it's like, oh, too soon. Yeesh. Ariel pulls David for a chat, and she's saying that she's kind of into him and they're enjoying their chats. And he's kind of telling the confessional that it's a little too late with Ariel, that she was too into Blair. And now that Angelique is an option, he's more interested in somebody who's full on for him. Dr. Jada's challenge for the day is about not judging a book by its cover, not judging by first impressions and looks and stuff like that. So the girls are sent away, the guys, and they're communicating with each other via phone and via text only. And so the girls get aliases and the guys get to pick which girl's banter flirty was the best. Most exciting, most intriguing, I don't know. So they are texting anonymously with who they're interested in going on a date with. So like who was dating. So David was getting a lot of texts. He was getting texts from Angelique, Dee Dee, and Ariel. And then Takor was getting some from Casey. Dean was getting from Jo. Alexis was waiting impatiently for Devin to respond to her texts. Yeah, that's kind of the ones of note. Ariel, side note, is terrible and awkward. David asks her, oh, what's your favorite movie? And she doesn't have an answer for that. Not even like, oh, I don't know, I have 5. How about this genre? How about this genre? Anything. Anything. There are 2 clear winners of the dates, the blind dating, text dating, and it's going to be kind of a surprise situation. So the blind dates, the winners, the girls, they pick their dates. So the guys that they picked are Takor and David. So we know that Takor was talking to Casey, so she's probably the winner for him. And then David was talking to a couple people, so not sure who the winner for him is. It could be Ariel, Angelique, or Dee Dee. So we'll see. And the guys won't find out until they are at their dates. So it's going to be a surprise for them too. After the challenge, but before the dates, Angelique is making hardcore moves on David. They talk about family. They talk about home. He is very into Angelique and she is very into him. They hug. I don't believe Angelique though. I don't know. She was too she's just too much. And so therefore I think I don't trust her. I don't know. She could be lovely. I know nothing. Ariel is bummed that Angelique and David are hitting it off so well. They see Angelique and David hug and then go into David's room. And then everybody can see into David's room that Angelique and David are giving each other massages. She's very pick-me right now. She's like, oh, let me massage you. Oh, I'm dancing. Look at me twerk. Girl, try less. Try less. I'll be there in a second. And so everybody can see what they're doing in the room. And then finally, Angelique closes the blinds and turns off the lights. So who knows what they got up to that night, but it's not PG, I'm sure. Devin makes an appointment with Dr. Jada to talk about his temper. And I actually learned something here, and I liked what Dr. Jada said. She said that anger is a secondary emotion that often comes from something else. So the idea is to dig for whatever that underlying issue is and address that, and therefore that relieves, hopefully, that temper problem. Devin pulls Alexis aside and tells her about his meeting with Dr. Jada, and he apologizes to her, and he says that how much he wants Alexis in his life, and still, he looks forward to maybe dating her again, and maybe rekindling and seeing where things go. And they both cry and they both get emotional, and it's very lovely, and she's hopeful for some kind of reunion. The dates. Blah! The dates get to go ziplining, which is so much fun. I've been a couple times and it is a lot of fun. So go if you can. Takor's date is Casey, which we kind of already knew. And on their ziplining trip, it's pretty funny because she's so tiny that she gets stuck halfway through. So the instructor zipline person had to go out and get her and kind of hoist her back to the platform. And meanwhile, her face kept almost bumping into the guy's crotch because of the way that he had to hoist her. So it was pretty embarrassing, but everybody had a good laugh about it. So after that, Casey and Takor had some drinks and they were chatting and they seemed to be hitting it off, and they did kiss, but it was a very kiss. And Casey said that he was a good kisser, but it was more like kissing a friend. That's kind of that. David goes with Dee Dee on their date, and honestly, I didn't catch much of their interaction. It was mostly about Takor and Casey. I think because David's more into Angelique, and so it's just like, it doesn't really matter. While everybody is on their dates, Angelique and a couple other people are talking around the pool. Angelique is talking about how much she likes David, and then she brings up elimination. She kind of throws Ariel under the bus in front of Blair, and Ariel's not there. Blair says, oh, well, you're also on the chopping block because we think you're a game player. And she's like, well, why do you think I'm a game player? All this stuff. And it's just like, we don't believe you. That she has a toxic energy and she shouldn't be throwing Ariel under the bus, and Blair doesn't like it. He says, stop acting like a bitch. And that pisses off Angelique. And Dean is watching from the pool, and he's kind of on Blair's side. He doesn't like Angelique now. He thinks she's up to something sus. And I'm not sure if that's just because she switched from him to David as soon as Jillian was gone, and Dean thought that he had dibs. I'm not really sure why Dean kind of switched his mind. Then the daters get home and Angelique and David talk, and Angelique tells David what happened and how Blair called her a bitch and all this stuff. And then Blair tells David, like, hey, I don't think she's good. I think you need to watch her back. Yeah. And then we go into elimination. It is the guys' turn to pick, and the two that they are talking about kicking off are Angelique and Ariel. Ariel, because she's kind of, not only was she stuck on Blair, but now it has been resolved, and she's ready to move on, and not really with any of the guys in the show, because David is now fully invested and smitten with Angelique. So the writing's on the wall for Ariel. It's actually two to two for the votes. It's Takor and Devin for Ariel getting kicked off, and Blair and Dean for Angelique getting kicked off. So it's up to David, and he's kind of not seeing, but both of the girls are interested in him, and he picks the one who obviously spent the night with him to stay. So Ariel is leaving us finally. She's been in the bottom for a while, and Blair walks her out, and they have a really nice goodbye and a really nice, like, closure, resolution, conversation. They hug. It's really nice to see that they can kind of come to some sort of even ground after all the drama that they've endured. That is it for my recap of episode 4. What did you think of the Big D this week? Do you think the right person went home? What do you think of Angelique? Do you think she's playing games? Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you are into my content. And I am also recapping Temptation Island, Love Island, and Love Always. So make sure to check out my recaps on those if you're into those shows. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.